All right. Yeah. Oh, let me get some cups.
I should put this right in the air conditioner.
All right. Well, tonight's podcast is brought to you by Jan de Dubbel Wheatbeer from Belgium. It's a double wheat, and that's Jan right there. Hopefully, you can see him. He's looking pretty great.
I only drink beer from Milwaukee.
Yeah. Let's go get a malt shake. All right, let's see. Ooh.
Wow, where did you find this?
Sergio's. Man, I don't have a bottle opener though, but it's never stopped me before. There we go. All right, now he said it was supposed to be cold, and it's warmed up a smidge in this warm sauna, but probably just wake it up a little bit. All right, ooh, heady. Maybe I could just try this. I'll trade you. This one will be a better pour.
Oh, no. You know what you're doing.
Man, look at that. That is a head on that thing. Yeah, ooh, it smells funky.
Brewed with spices. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that is a treat. It's a treat and a half right there.
Woo. First time? New beer?
Yeah, I think that's a new beer.
Sergio's is the world of beer you took me to, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay.
That's the one. Old
Man,
Serge.
rocks.
He's still there.
Yeah?
Everything's cash only, but he still charges you tax. It's like $22. He's like, okay, 22. I'm like, I know what you're doing, Serge. He's like, well, that'll be 23 and a quarter. Like, don't act like you're a human calculator.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm here for. I paid him $24, told him to keep the change.
Oh, good. Hey,
You know?
Come on. He's still at it. I'm happy for him. If it keeps the lights on a little longer, because...
Oh, I'm sure he's doing just fine. You got zero paper trail for anything.
That's right. Ooh. Are we on?
We're on. We're on. Oh, am I on? This thing's so hard to tell. We're on. Look at that. All right.
I mean, that's good.
Sweet, bro. Okay, well, I gave us an assignment. I gave us an assignment.
Took it to heart.
Yeah. For 5 minutes, you took it to heart. I tell you what, I took it to heart too. I'll go. Mine's kind of boring, so I'll go first.
Yeah.
If that's all right. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's less than 100 days until the election.
Okay.
And
What's the
I'm going to sit up because when I looked at the video last time, I looked like a fat dude
How's
sitting
my
here
posture?
like that. Your posture was on point, bro.
Was it good?
Maybe I should.
I need to watch some game tape.
Maybe one of these.
You can't think about it too much.
Like
You
that.
really do it with your hands. No, I'm starting to wonder.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah.
less than 100 days till the election. Gosh, I'm on pins and needles. I'm excited for the first time in a long time, and that made me think like, all right, well, if I was president, less than 100 days till then. But what would I try and get done in my first 100 days, which is pretty classic.
Yeah.
So, okay, so first of all, my long shot would be I would create basically a red herring. I would say that it is time that we sell Puerto Rico to Russia. Like, just give them some beachfront property, nice close.
Yeah?
Because I know this would make everybody crazy. And I would say, oh, well, it looks like we love Puerto Rico so much. Why don't we make them a freaking state?
Yeah.
That's the end game.
Yeah?
That's the teasing with Russia is like,
good.
maybe we should have one more state called Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And stop acting like, they have, anyway, so that's one.
I think we need to stop right there for a second.
All right,
okay?
all right, yeah.
Because that's pretty good. Now, I think if there's a wrinkle in the entire thing is, do you even bring up the Puerto Rico thing in the campaign, or this is like at the inauguration, you're just like,
yeah,
I forgot to mention this until now.
Well, if I forgot to mention what I wanted to do for, let's say, Oklahoma,
Yeah.
would you say like, how dare you sell us a bill of goods? You wanted to put in a Hadron Collider in Oklahoma, and you didn't tell us.
Yeah. Now,
Puerto Rico is
Oklahoma has been declared like a global threat to democracy.
Puerto Rico's what?
I'm talking about Russia.
Oh, man.
You can't just be feeling.
Russia's just to grab the headlines and to make the conservative people who are like, we can't afford to incorporate them. And we're like, great, well, if
Yeah.
if you're not going to marry her, let her go and let somebody else marry her. And then why not Russia? Because then they'll be like, you can't have Russia right here in our front yard. Like, well, great. Well, let's make them a state. Let's make it legal.
It's
I
a
feel
bold
like
move.
we're getting the milk for free, and we don't want to buy the cow.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great people in Puerto Rico.
There's no doubt about that. No, I had my first experience in Puerto Rico. Have you been?
I've just worked with people from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
In restaurants.
I didn't know much about Puerto Rico. I didn't mean to be there, first of all, but I ended up.
Serendipity.
Almost accidentally.
Maybe ancestors. You have any ancestors like?
I don't.
No?
Well, I didn't find them.
No,
I didn't find them. My last name is Newland, right? So I try in my first 100 days. I try to make it clear that I'm not trying to colonize anything in my first 100 days. But I like where we're going with Puerto Rico. Let me say this.
Incorporate what we already have.
Yeah, that's right.
Less new, just make it new.
Colonize it. We're not pioneering anything.
No, yeah.
They've been around. And what I learned when I was in Puerto Rico is that maybe a dozen times they have taken a vote as a territory to see if they would like statehood. And it has never passed until last year.
Oh,
So
the time is right.
Rico have spoken.
Time is right.
They do want to be a U.S. state. So I think that is great. Now I think the issue that you will have
Yeah.
may not even be about the cost of incorporating them. Although,
Drop in a bucket. How much have we
Yeah.
sent to Ukraine? I don't know how much Puerto Rico owes somebody. It's
Yeah.
probably less than what we've invested in Ukraine. And I'm for Ukraine.
into it.
I'm for them.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
for Puerto Rico too.
Yeah. There's money out there.
Yeah, we'll print it.
And
We'll
so
print
I don't
it.
think it's an issue of money.
Yeah. What do you think it is?
The only thing that matters really is what their political stance is, because when they become a state, they will get 2 senators.
Yeah.
The Senate is
Man.
50-50.
Man.
So you cannot have
It could be 51-51.
51. No, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I say you do this. Let's say Puerto Rico's they favor more conservative political, climate.
Which would be an outlier for Latinos, unless you're talking about a Cuban
that's-
Latino.
Maybe a lot. Latinos are very pro-life, and so for that reason, I think even traditionally maybe they've voted more conservative outside of some of the
Interesting.
crazy
Yeah.
rhetoric that we heard, like the 2016 election, which was maybe a shift, but still, there's tend to vote more conservative. So maybe what you do is, okay, we're gonna do Puerto Rico here, but to even it, DC statehood.
Oh,
2 senators from
interesting.
DC now, 2 senators from Puerto Rico, 52
Wow.
states, baby. And I'm sorry, maybe it's just my colonizing brain thinking.
Come on, new land. It's a brave new
But
land.
that sounds like a win-win. So I don't think that.
I'm curious. Yeah, I'm into it.
I don't
Yeah,
think that's.
I'm into
I
it.
think it's a beautiful.
Let's
plan
do
you've
it.
got. Yeah.
I like it. Plan number 2. Listen, debt's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? And people are paying off credit card companies.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my best to pay off credit card companies. And what I do is I picture like Richard Billingsley III on his private yacht, and he's left his wife at home, and he's just there with his girlfriend because he's got so much money he can afford to make bad life decisions. I make one bad life decision right now, and the trajectory's in a lot of trouble.
You're underwater.
But Billingsley's up there, and I just paid off a credit card. Let's just say, maybe that day. It happens about once every 100 years, and so he says to. I just picture him. I picture old Dickie Billingsley III saying, "Jeeves, another Mai Tai, please." And Jeeves is like, "I'm sorry, sir. You don't get that because Tim Strader has paid off his credit
today.
card. You don't get the interest
No.
on that one. You can still have the boat,
Yeah.
but I'm taking the Mai Tai back." So to do that, to help that, I would say that whatever money you use to pay off debt is tax deductible. Because you're not enjoying that money. You're not using that money.
No, you're not.
Let's say that you put out $15,000 this year in the minimum payments, $10,000, whatever, $5,000, and you just get to write that off.
Yeah.
You didn't use it. You've been taxed on that money, you know. So
Yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah.
And then I would say that minimum wage. I know that Kamala is saying like, hey, we need to make taxes not come out of tips. But as a former industry worker, let's just give them minimum wage, like not a $2.16 minimum wage,
yeah.
but like, because that's what you're getting. You get $2.16.
Is that still the number?
I believe it is still $2.16 in Kentucky. Of course, you'll make tips that are more than, it's a whole mind game. And you don't know, the good and the bad, they outweigh each other. You end up working for about $15 an hour. But you feel like you're making like $30 an hour until you realize like, oh, I have tips plus my employer only paid me $2 an hour. And they use you, like don't you wish that somebody would come clean your house for $2.16 an hour?
Yes.
No brainer. I'd be like, be here like every day for 2 hours a day. And at the end of that 5-day week, I would owe them $20 for cleaning my house for 2 hours a day. So what restaurants do is they capitalize on that. They have the waiters come in, waitresses, clean for an hour before shift, clean for an hour after shift. Sometimes they'd have us come in and clean for 2 hours on a Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
So now we're a cleaning crew, but we're all making $2.16 an hour. And then you talk to, they're brainwashed, the servers, they brainwashed them because I'm like, oh man, we're losing money.
Yeah.
They're like, no, just wait till the doors open, then we'll be making good money. It's like, well, if you...
And then you gotta wait till Friday night. No, just wait till... There's a concert
crazy.
in town Saturday.
But easy solution, give them the stability, the promise, and that your employer doesn't take advantage of you as a $2.16 cleaning crew. Yeah. Just give them minimum wage. Just call it whatever your state minimum wage is, 7 1/4. Do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those are maybe my
Do we
top
still
3.
Tip?
If you would like, absolutely.
If you would like.
Yeah. I think that's something more for us to figure out on the other side of it. Because what happens
Day
is
101.
we're
Don't worry about that right now.
Well, we're subsidizing restaurant owners, so they have very little overhead costs for employees. We're subsidizing them. We're like, oh, we'll pay your employee wages.
Okay.
So we're allowing them to just pay for food and make money, you know?
So there's your buy-in from the restaurant owners. They feel good? You think they feel good about this?
Here's a crazy thing. When you sign up to be a waiter, you get the job. They're like, hey, do you have your food handler's license? You new to the industry or you got it? You're like, oh, you know what? Like, it's expired because I haven't waited tables for a while. They're like, no problem. There's an online course. You just got to sit down and keep hitting the play button for about an hour, and you'll get your food handler's license. You can do it at a coffee shop. It's all on the computer now. And they're like, it's $25. We'll pay for it. Don't worry about it. That money goes to a lobbying group that is actively lobbying Congress, state and federal, to make sure that we don't raise the minimum wage. So every time you get your food handler's license, money goes into the hat to make sure that you never make more than $2.16 an hour. I wish I was making this up.
That's a shame.
This whole podcast was just so that I could.
Who knows this?
It.
Who knows this?
People do know it, not enough. It's kind of, nobody really cares. They're like, it's a temporary job anyways, Sure. It's like, but no, there's so many people
because it's
this
so
is
temporary.
their job. Yeah.
That means 10 people are taking this $25 fee this week. This restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I learned something. My goodness. Okay, that's cool. All right, so that's 2 things.
3 things. It was Richard Billingsley III. We're taking some Mai Tais from him.
Yeah.
Puerto
Rico statehood.
Yeah.
And then, so that's pretty strong.
Oh, man. Well, I felt a little self-conscious.
3 big initiatives, pushing this through in 100 days.
Yeah.
Some of them are a little dicey. They're all ambitious. They're all pretty ambitious, actually.
I didn't know what the 100 days is for,
Yeah.
Like that energy. But yeah, you. What about you, man?
Wow. Well, I will admit that I maybe am overcompensating on the outfit because I didn't get to think about this as much.
Oh, man. Well, let's just take a moment.
But I think we can work through this.
Show us the sleeves, man. Show us the sleeves.
This is, first of all, I mean, I only get to wear this every 4 years. I get to wear this during the Olympics. I guess I could wear it
Man,
every 2 years.
I wouldn't stop you. I would not stop you from wearing that.
It's hard to
every
wear it
day.
without really making a statement. It's hard to.
Every day of the week.
Yeah.
It's a real starter too. I can see that.
No, this is sweet.
Man,
this is
that's
nice.
what's up.
This
Man,
was
that's the
like
real deal.
a Goodwill find in college.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
Goodwill even.
Can you believe it?
Bro,
I know.
somebody needed a sponsorship, but they got third place,
Yeah.
and they were like,
was-
get rid of the
This
jacket.
was when like jackets were a standard price. Like if to walk into a Goodwill now, this would be behind the counter. You know. But this was like $3.50.
Goodwill's getting
So-
smart.
Yeah, they've gotten.
That was $3.50,
You know, who knows?
something like that. Man,
Like that.
okay,
It
what
was the standard.
what city?
pullover.
What Goodwill?
This was St. Charles, Missouri.
Man, I know that right now people are planning a road trip to
Yeah.
St. Charles, Missouri,
Yeah,
just to hit the Goodwill.
I bought them out. Sorry, no more starter decks. The I'll tell you
Show us
what,
the patches, man. Flex for us.
we got
Flex for
rings.
us. Yeah.
We got the rings
Yeah.
on both sides. We still have the actual starter logo here.
Yeah.
It's a nice jacket. I should wear more. I only wear it for the Olympics, and I forgot on this Olympics, and it just ended.
Man.
So I'm wearing it for two reasons. One is, I mean, you let me know that we were going to be discussing this.
Yeah.
And the other reason is my beloved neighbors, our beloved neighbors, the Millers, are returning from
Here
France
you go.
tonight.
Yeah.
So I'll be on their porch at 11, welcoming them back. Maybe even a USA chant. You know, I haven't done that in a while. That's one thing I haven't done in public, along with wearing the
Bro.
jacket. I haven't started a USA
Bro.
chant. So maybe welcome them back properly.
Yeah.
Let them know. If I pick up a beer, it'll maybe be like a PBR, like some Budweiser for them.
Yeah.
They've been across the pond for about 2 months, maybe?
Man, it's been a minute.
End of June, sort of. So,
That-
anyway, so
yeah.
that's the second reason. So, Miller's coming back.
To the Millers,
Right
you
here.
know?
Yeah. Sure. Now, 100 days. I'm going to take a different approach. This may be even more bold.
Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, let's go there, man. The world might not be ready, but that
Bold,
shouldn't stop
Not
us.
colonizing,
Yeah.
not buying Greenland.
It's been tried before.
Not buying Greenland. No shade
Yeah.
to Betzer guy. You
Yeah.
forgot about that. For your
which one?
insanity. Well, you know, Trump administration tried to buy Greenland.
Oh, yes. Thanks for bringing that back up.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. You suppress these things for your own sanity.
It was a crazy time.
It was a crazy time.
Greenland's like,
But you know, they were just putting out feelers. They were just putting out feelers. and that's
we not for sale. Please first incorporate Puerto
Everything's for
Rico
sale.
before you buy us, please. Okay.
All right, here, I'll take a different approach. I'd say what this country needs, more than anything.
Yeah, sell Florida. We don't want to buy Greenland.
Yeah,
we want to
we're
sell Florida.
Decolonizing. What if 100 days, no new laws?
Okay.
First 100 days,
Okay.
no legislation.
Are you even showing up at the White House? Or are you just taking 100
You aren't
days?
showing up. That's the part
Okay.
two. All right, so part one, part one, no new laws. People need to know. There's a new person in charge. The world keeps turning.
Okay.
Nothing's gonna change on a dime.
Yeah.
You can feel comfortable in that. Rest easy. People don't like change. That's really
Yeah.
what it is. No new laws. Nothing. You want to do gun control? Not happening in 100 days.
Yeah.
If you hate gun control, that's your biggest fear. So much that it literally changes the economy when somebody threatens or a Democrat wins office.
Okay.
People buy up the guns. They go berserk, right? That's their biggest fear. Is people are gonna take away the guns, right?
Okay.
No new tax reform. Although we'll do the credit card thing, and we'll do the tips thing.
Okay. I like
But
it.
just let everybody rest
Yeah.
easy. All right.
Yeah.
100 days. 100 senators. 104 now. All right.
Yeah.
Every single day, visit a senator, both sides of the aisle, on their turf.
Ooh, go to their state.
Go to them.
Yeah.
Go to them. Sit down. Meet with them. Learn what you need to learn.
Oh, yeah.
Get to know. I think that would go a long way as far as respect,
Yeah.
as far as collaboration, working together. What you're doing is you're building a strong foundation,
Yeah.
and that the next, 1,000 days of presidency are going to be way more efficient, right? Because we're going to be able to
Yeah.
work across the aisle. And I think that's really what we need. So I'll go, and this is mainly because I didn't get to think about this much. But now that I'm talking myself into it.
Yeah.
Is it too crazy?
I don't think so. I think the advantage to being, and let me just see, are you recording? Hit that record button. I think somehow you bumped it.
Uh-oh.
That's all right. I got you on my mic. I'm sure of it.
There we go. Back on.
And I'm red, right?
You're red.
And there we go.
Yeah.
I think that the advantage to like a Joe Biden, listen, love the dude, you know what I'm saying? I think that the advantage to being a career politician, I know we hate that, but let's call him a statesman, is that he's been hopefully in and out of the offices for years. So that somebody like that, I think that could kind of skip through that 100 days. I'm sure there's like probably 50
Sure.
senators he doesn't talk to, but he could.
That's the problem. Gotta talk to him.
Well,
Gotta talk to him.
I think that idea for unity, listening,
You know, the real
and take.
crazy ones
I like it.
are not the senators, right? The Marjorie Taylor Greenes of the world, right? She's not a senator, right? She's a representative.
I hope so.
So I mean, you can't meet with 435 of those, right? But
Yeah.
you'll come across them when they try to impeach you or something. But that's so. But it's doable. It would go a long way. 100 days is not that long.
Yeah,
And I think most people, they spend that 100 days, maybe they sign a ton of executive orders, right?
yeah,
Those don't, I mean, and they maybe, if there's a big problem, maybe they do make an immediate impact.
yeah.
But since you're not working across the aisle, when the next administration comes in, they just reverse all the executive orders, So they may
I'd
not.
like to see him reverse Puerto Rico.
Come on, Puerto Rico. I'm rooting for Puerto Rico.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you.
So that's the direction I'm going to take. If I was going to get two more in there, and I'll
Yeah.
give two that are not
Yeah.
original.
I didn't come up with Puerto Rico.
Man, first I'd heard of it.
Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico came up with Puerto Rico.
That's right. I'll give you two. All right, so one of them I've told you before. It is not original. And it is because I believe this was an idea from my political science teacher, maybe 10th grade.
Let's give a shout out.
Can't do it. Don't know if I wanted to.
How
It
about
was a
this,
male, and he also was the PE teacher.
And a city?
Bowling Green, Kentucky, Greenwood High School.
Listen, you're out there.
Yeah, we're talking 2012-ish.
Facial hair?
Facial hair. Had hair. Black hair.
Kind of a potato face with hair in places. Yes.
And you know who you are. You'll know this idea as soon as I say it. I want to give you credit. I'm sorry, but it was a good idea. I do think I was the only one in the room who wrote it down. Because I was like, that has legs.
Okay.
And so his idea, I've shared this with you before, I think. His idea was right now the lottery system is state by state.
Okay.
All right, so in Kentucky, we do have the Powerball. We do have Mega Millions. That's not in every state.
Okay.
It's in most of them,
Yeah.
but not all of them. But a federal lottery that all 52
Yeah.
states can participate in.
I love the future we're painting here.
We have vision.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, all 52 states can participate in this on a weekly basis. One mega jackpot, right? We've seen the Mega Millions, the Powerball, even recently climb to well over $1 billion every once in
Yeah,
a
it's
while,
about
right?
to be 500 million.
So imagine if every week you had a
Not that
1.5
I watch it.
billion, right? Hey, you're just paying for the kids' education. 1.5 billion jackpot, and half of that, $750,000 of the winner, $750,000 every single week went to paying off the debt.
Ooh.
The patriotic duty was to throw your $2-3, maybe hit that
Yeah.
extra multiplier, $2-3 into the jackpot.
Yeah.
You're paying off the debt. And I think that's a fun one.
I love it. I love it.
That's a win-win. Who's losing on that?
And you got your scratch-offs. You could do some spin-off scratch-offs. You know
Why
what I'm
not?
saying? You could do like a lot. I mean, I don't know how big the lottery business is, but for Kentucky alone, it's been billions of dollars. And if you multiply that times 50,
Yeah,
that's 50 billions.
Sure.
50 billions of dollars.
come on.
I'm in.
I love it. I think that's, and it's going towards the debt, and
Mr.
the debt
Potato
is not
Face.
something,
Thank you for that idea.
right? I think I was paying attention. And, right now the lottery, right, it pays for education. If it goes towards the debt, you can't really take that away. That's just what it goes towards, right?
Right.
When you designate the lottery going towards education, every year the education budget gets cut because it's being supplemented.
Good point.
It's really not, it really evens out.
Yeah.
So, going towards the debt, I think that's
Yeah.
that's a win-win. Again, everybody.
Yeah.
That one's easy. That's my easy one, because come on, can't argue.
Softball, right over the plate.
Softball. That could happen in 100 days,
Sure. People love Lotto. I do.
Now, number 2 is a little trickier.
Okay.
So this is a crazy one. I just want to know what your thought about this. I'm not even sold on it yet, but I think it's fun. I like it. It's creative, redemptive. So, on a sour note, it turns out, according to The Atlantic, about 100 million acres of displacement have happened from indigenous people, Native Americans, right?
Yeah.
And so that's probably even like a pretty conservative estimate. Like that's not like even the size of Texas, right? And knowing
Yeah.
like some apparently, I guess some Native groups, they really traveled a lot, nomadic, right?
Yeah.
So like, how do you even designate like what is the geographic region?
Yeah.
But 100 million at least acres of displacement. The national parks,
Yeah.
all national parks in the country, are 95 million acres.
Okay.
What if the 95 million acres
Yeah.
were given to Native Americans
Man.
and descendants of Native Americans? Now, maybe everybody still has access to visit the national parks. They are beloved.
Yeah.
I mean, they are maybe one thing that we all agree on. We just absolutely love as Americans.
Yeah.
Is our national parks. Some people love the Smoky Mountain National Parks a little too much. We all agree on that.
Yeah.
Right? They're the most visited.
Yeah.
The Dollywood's nearby, so we get it.
Yeah.
But incredible, right?
I just wonder if you gave Mount Rushmore to natives, what would that look like?
What would that look like? Yeah, maybe like a little, maybe
they might-
Washington gets a facelift.
Renovated it.
Yeah, a little renovation. I think you're right. That one would be interesting. All these would be so interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, I think maybe in the terms, not that maybe we're in any position to draw terms, but terms are like, maybe would be authentic to what I imagine
Yeah.
First Nations people would agree with, which is like, this land is still to be enjoyed by everybody.
Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah, you still get access, but at least when you're paying $30 to enter Yosemite, right, that's going in their pocket,
It's true.
Yeah. Probably, like, pretty good preservationists of the land.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, I don't know where that money is going. It's probably going to upkeep the land anyways.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like you're not taking money away from out
Yeah.
of somebody's pocket necessarily.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure someone could argue with that. What do you think?
I'm into it, man.
You like
I'm
it?
into Yeah. I think it'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's about time that we ran these ideas by people who can really make it happen.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Well, I tell you, to make that happen, all you gotta do is like and subscribe, share with a friend,
Smash that.
and we're well on our way.
Well, I think we've had some really great ideas.
As long as we have a larger platform than the Atlantic.
Yeah, we could be called the Pacific.
Yeah.
Like
There you go.
We could do it.
It's a fun one. What else? What we can review? You got more politics? What are you thinking?
Gosh, yeah, I'll say that I've taken a laissez-faire vibe
Yeah.
with family and friends.
Okay.
My family, my mom and my dad are staunch Republicans.
Yeah.
I got a
So you-
beautiful bobblehead
Oh. come on.
care package at the Trumpinator.
What?
Yeah, it's like the Terminator, but it's Donald Trump.
What was the context of this package? I mean, you get a package from your parents, it's like Christmas.
Well,
I mean,
my dad is always like sending packages. It's wonderful. You never know what he's going
What kind of packages is he always sending, Mr. Far Right? Were they labeled? Were they sent to universities and airlines?
Sometimes it's just like, hey, I saw on eBay that they were selling a pen that John F. Kennedy signed some law into being with. And I bought it. And I sent it to you.
Okay, the style of pen? Like it was like...
No, it's like one of the official...
It's one of the pens.
Yeah, it says the President of the United States on it. It's clear.
You've got a JFK pen?
Got a JFK pen. Thanks to my dad, yeah. You never know.
Wow.
He might send you with a vibe of like, hey, this is what inflation looks like. Is like, here's an antique dollar bill from pre-Civil War that says, returnable for like an ounce of gold. Here's a dollar from current days, which is worth not even a shaving of gold. And then here is a small gold coin that's worth $500 that I bought 30 years ago when it was 50. And now you can tell the boys about you can't eat gold when the apocalypse happens, you know, and you're just like,
Oh my gosh.
that has layers.
The real gift is the notes that are coming along with these gifts, I imagine. Wow.
Yeah, one time it was, you remember Wonder Years. Do you remember the Wonder Years with Fred
I
Savage?
don't think I had the pleasure.
Well, he had a girlfriend on it, and now she's a grown woman. She was featured in the tabloids or something.
Okay.
But it's nothing scintillating.
Okay.
It was just like,
So he sent you an
where is she
Esquire?
now?
Yeah.
Sent me that and was like, hey, she'd be great in one of your movies.
Oh my gosh, no. That is the most heartwarming thing is
You
he is
never know.
standing in line at Walmart because that is where you buy these and saw that and just thought, she's got the stuff
She's got the stuff.
for one of Tim's movies.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
One time it was a Bulletproof Vest. It was just
Really?
like, hey, no note on that one. It was
No,
just
no.
Bulletproof Pro
Oh.
Silver. Bulletproof. One like the police one. It was like,
yeah.
that
It was-
one I was like, baby, it had been a long week in my defense. It had been a long week.
Yeah.
So I was like, baby, just please take this away from me. Because I can't.
Oh my
I
gosh.
can't process this.
Wow.
But this time, love
Yeah.
it. He sent me, and I talked to him today. He was like, did you get the collector's item I sent you?
Oh,
It is going to be a
beautiful.
collector's item. I'm sure of it. It's a Donald Trump bobblehead. Maybe we'll bring it next week.
Yeah, oh, I
this
love
week
that
I
right
should
here.
mention I'm wearing my
Come
Scrapper
on.
Joe Biden T-shirt
That's a Tim Schrader
from
original.
4 years ago.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You can see how old he was then,
Yeah.
and I'm not hating on
Hey.
it. I'm not hating
I
on
don't
it.
see any wrinkles on that shirt.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Freshly pressed, looking good.
the dude's smart. He's doing great things. But I'm glad we got something else going on. But yeah, so
Slip that in there.
one day, that Donald Trump Terminator,
Yeah.
I'll be back. You know,
Sure.
bobblehead. You know, it's gonna be worth.
That will be,
Glad.
yeah. It will be in a museum, you know, trying to explain the cultural phenomenon that was.
I wish he'd bought the shoes.
here.
You know what I'm saying? But at the
Oh,
same time,
right.
I wish he had.
Those are sold out. Those are
He's
sold out. You
living
can't
on
get
a
those.
fixed income. He's retired, but you know. what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
All right.
You gotta watch
Well,
that.
he's still contributing to the.
So I'll just say
Campaign.
though, however, we just have a very warm discussion about things. You know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Neither of it. Well, maybe I think he's trying to give me the facts, and I'm just trying to receive them. Like, wouldn't that be awful if Kamala was a socialist? You know, like, wouldn't that be awful?
Yeah.
That's kind of my go-to.
Yeah.
Well, you know that Biden he's got Alzheimer's, and Kamala's gonna take over in the last 6 months. Everybody's saying,
Yeah? Does he have some intel on that? Or is that?
wouldn't that be awful? That's
Yeah.
like my go-to. Like, well, wouldn't that be terrible?
Yeah.
Or you know, like Kamala and Waltz, they're communists, and here's the video, and man, I'd hate to have a communist president.
Yeah.
I can meet you there. Or you know, there was more than one gunman that shot at Trump. You watch this 15-minute video.
Oh.
You know, like
Did you
gosh.
watch the video? Because you're
Yeah, I
empathetic,
watched
but
it. Oh yeah,
you watched it.
I was on the toilet. It was toilet time. I was just like, well, I got 10 minutes to kill. I'll watch the
Damn.
video, you know?
Were you compelled? Was there a second shooter?
Wouldn't that be awful? Wouldn't that be awful if there was a second
Oh my
shooter?
gosh.
And I hope if there was a second shooter that they would find him.
You have an unbelievable amount of patience and empathy. And if you can't have it with your father, you won't be able to have it with anybody else. Way to
Well,
go.
that's the wacky thing is like that's, family is so much more, I deal with
Yeah.
that every day.
Yeah.
Federal government, I deal with it some every day, but not really,
Yeah.
So at the point that federal policies, presidents and stuff like that affect the personal,
Yeah.
I think that they're robbing us of something, or we're robbing ourselves of something that's more important than
Sure.
that,
Yeah.
I would much rather have a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner with my dad where I didn't feel like I had to prove him wrong every second. I could just be like, that would be terrible, than to have been right every time,
Well, I think you're playing it right,
Yeah.
Tim.
Wow.
You were amazing. I've always been amazed at your ability to tolerate different opinions that they just really seem like you seem to kind of they're life-giving to you, that other people disagree with you and you think some of it's wacky, but you just like kind of encourage them in a way that you would be happy for them if they were, I don't know. I mean, it's just, you just kind of encouraging them, and it's just
Appreciate
a
that.
way to go. Yeah, I'm a little inspired by that.
Man, free thought, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
Love
a good
it.
thing.
I
It's a good
love
thing.
free
For
thought.
now, till Kamala takes that from you, till she taxes your thoughts.
That's it. Man, oh man.
That's cool.
We're
Well, I
like,
love that.
Kamala, she doesn't know anything. I was like, well, gosh, I think that we can at least agree that she's been a district attorney, a state senator,
Yep.
and a vice president.
Yep.
So
Yep.
maybe you disagree, but let's just acknowledge she's done a bit more than
Sure.
most of us,
That was handed to her. Unlike, her opponent who ran a company that was maybe in the family at 26. I mean,
In a reality
that,
TV show,
yeah.
money over fist.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. This has become a politics podcast. This is dangerous.
Well, maybe next week we'll switch to something else.
Okay.
I felt I was inspired by our last podcast, and I was like, man, you know what? Like, let's grab it. Let's say,
It's pretty natural. I mean, we're like, this is kind of off the cuff here. I mean,
I think we're both passionate about the
Yeah.
future.
We are.
Making a better future for our kids.
I am, and I think this is up your alley. I am pretty passionate about kind of diffusing the partisan world that we're just breathing in, And so I think that I'd take that into my first 100 days. I was on a call today with some Moms Demand Action folks. They're awesome. They're great people. They're moving the needle. Doesn't feel like it in Kentucky sometimes, but they're doing great work. And they corrected me. They're like, stop calling it gun control. Stop calling it that. Call it gun safety.
Oh yeah.
You've got to, it bothers people when you call it gun control. So just don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. I didn't even realize that was a trigger word, right? Pardon the pun, but it is. And so, they said, just call it gun safety. That's really what it is, right? Like, there's a lot of people here that own guns, even Moms Demand Action folks. We just care about gun safety. That's good. You're helping the world go
that's
round,
smart.
moms.
That's smart.
Thank you. So, man, that's awesome. All right, what else you got? Trumpinator, we're gonna bring that in sometime. I love that. And last question is, where is that bobblehead spending time right now?
Well, it's on the top of a bookcase in the living room.
Okay.
I had to put it high enough that my wife couldn't take it down.
Well done. She's awfully pregnant, and you use that against her.
She hides those things. My dad sent us a Make America Great Again hat.
Oh, he really went for it on that one.
Man, that was like. So I put it up on the
really-
tote hook by the front door, like everybody's welcome here. You know what I'm saying? Like, hang your hat.
I love it.
And
I love it.
She was just telling everybody as they walked in, like, isn't this the funniest joke ever? Like, we would never.
She was so
We
concerned.
would never. And I was like, no,
Yeah.
that's not the point. Is like, like, what if?
Yeah.
What if I had a view that you disagreed with?
Yeah.
Would our friendship be over?
Yeah.
I hope not.
I hope not.
You know?
I hope not.
I mean, there's some ideas that are very disagreeable, but
Sure. Yeah, and that's on both sides.
yeah.
Cool. No, way to go, Tim.
Well, What a treat to be here with you. We're going to finish that one off camera.
Off camera?
I think we did.
Well, I tell you, if we're gonna end,
Yeah.
I love the way we ended last time. I thought the way that you read an excerpt from a book.
Oh,
Can we do that?
absolutely. This time you read it, man.
Man,
a little bit.
I pick the book. You read the excerpt.
All right, let's do it.
All right. All right. We read Kennedy's last time. This looks like a treat.
Man, all right.
All right.
Woo!
Woo! That's a
Heavy
good
guy.
one. Exploring the New Testament.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Enjoy the
Okay.
ride.
Man, good heft on this one. Let's go. Let's get near the end. He's just wrapping. I picture like at this
Yeah.
point, they're just surprised you're still reading. You know what I'm saying? It might be nonsense words.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm not even kidding. All right.
What did you open up
So
to?
this is Exploring the New Testament, a guide to the letters and Revelation.
Okay. All right. So that's surely you're in Revelation at that
He
point. That's
definitely
towards the
didn't
end.
think anybody was reading this far. The whole page is dedicated to 101 nights of great sex.
Whoa.
Number 92.
Oh
High
boy.
rent rendezvous for his eyes only. And just so
This
that
is-
you know,
Oh my goodness. Oh no. Did
old I. Howard Marshall and Stephen Travis and Ian Paul in volume 2, man, they were really going for it. They're
All
like,
right. So
man,
what is
there's-
90? What is the 92?
dollar signs at the bottom too.
What is the technique here? What's happening here? What letter is this?
In the words of Reading Rainbow, to find that out, you'll have to read the book.
Did somebody accidentally switch like the cover on that one?
Good question. We can double check
That's
that.
interesting. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they did. The book is Capricorn, 101 Nights of Great Sex, Secret Seductions for Fun-Loving Couples.
What? Couple? Let's
my
hear
gosh.
let's hear a tech. I mean, what is a? Give us more. Give us more. Just open a page.
Well, let's go to the table of contents. There's a lot. There's a lot there.
All right, here. Let me hear. All right,
Let's
for the
say that
people, give people what they want. Let's just.
Number 45 is Slave Time.
Ooh. Okay, we'll workshop the title.
Wanna bet? That's the note you'll inscribe in big bold letters on a dollar bill. Tape it to her mirror, and when she asks, explain that you want to play a game this week. Any game she likes. Cards, checkers, Trivial Pursuit even.
Okay.
Who plays Trivial Pursuit anymore? I don't know. It doesn't matter, but it's not until the actual night of your seduction that you name the stakes. The prize you are playing for is Slave Time.
Whew.
Assuming you win,
Wow.
of course, she owes you 1 full hour of slave time.
My oh my.
Okay, but there are only a few ground rules to follow. Number 1, because you want your slave to totally trust her master. Number 1, no public embarrassment.
Sure.
You can't invite the boys over to watch a strip show.
Which is different than any game of Trivial Pursuit I've ever played.
But then in parentheses, advanced players may negotiate. Nothing painful, and nothing with any lasting consequences like photos, no pickups of strangers in bars, and no unsafe practices.
Well, I can't imagine a better way to close this out than than laying some ground rules for maybe the most tantalizing game of Trivial Pursuit.
Because on the outside, it's absolutely nondescript. And somebody put,
I may have switched the cover.
you said,
I may have switched the cover.
Genius.
Although I'd love to imagine that somebody in the library here was just like, yeah.
I thought a lot of these books are donated.
Oh,
I thought
that'd be
that
great.
like
Yeah.
somebody's had been,
Secretly
like, in
reading.
their son's room and
Sure.
been like, all right, well, I'm taking
Yeah.
all this old
He's off to
books."
seminary. Yeah.
Well, to come back from seminary. Taking his seminary books.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Well, with that, we'll leave you with those words of
Wisdom.
scintillating wisdom.
All right. Over and out.
Over and out.
Well done.